Angelic Ingenious Supplies.
What's up, Spikes? Welcome back to yet another Bloomburrow episode. Today we've got a real special one. Aaron is out of the country. We haven't heard from him in days, and we're not really sure where he's at. We really hope he's hanging out with our channel sponsor, Gamegenic. They have ingenious supplies, and we really hope that they're taking care of Aaron. We'd really like him back someday. We also want to thank Wizards of the Coast for sending us these decks early so we could bring this content to you. Without their support and help, we wouldn't be able to do this as timely as it is. So if you like that, there's a link down in the description for where you can find these decks as well. So, since Aaron's out of the country, we had to ask Bill.
Hi.
That's you.
That's me.
To do some upgrades for these decks. I, today, am playing Bello, Bard of the Brambles. And if you say that 5 times fast, I'll give you a thumbs up. That was neither fast nor correct, nor 5 times. But what this guy does is he's a gruel raccoon that says, artifacts that aren't equipment and enchantments that aren't auras that are mana value 4 or greater are instead 4/4 elementals with indestructible and haste. Oh boy.
So what I decided to do for the cuts and the upgrades for this deck, I took out some of the creature-focused things that were inherent in the Precon and replaced them with greater mana value non-creature things. So we have bigger artifacts, we have bigger enchantments that have some pretty impactful effects. Something that I want to highlight specifically is Shimil, the Inner Sun, allowing you to discover and makes it so your spells can't be countered, as well as Grand Melee, just to end the game.
What are you playing today, Bill?
Hello, I'm Bill. And today I'm playing Zinnia, Valley's Voice. And if you saw the first game, then you know that in Jim's intro to the deck, he said that my reaction was that this card is broken, which is why I want to play this deck today. I'm very excited. This is an Offspring deck that cares about things with power 1. So in my upgrades for the Zinnia deck, I really wanted to focus more on creating copies of creatures that have really impactful either enter the battlefield effects or ways to swarm the board with things that have 1 power to buff Zinnia. The very first thing that I thought of when I saw Zinnia was making a copy of Sublime Archangel is exactly what I want to do. And so I, of course, did that. The other thing is Offspring does create an enter the battlefield effect, so copying that gives you more copies of things. So I've also included things like Panharmonicon to make that even stronger.
Hi, I'm Jan, and I am playing Miss Bumbleflower. She seems like a very caring, mother-like character, so it's group hug. I want to give everybody a hug. I want to make friends. I'm here to help everybody enjoy their day.
So one of the things that I was focusing on for Miss Bumbleflower specifically was making the strategy a little bit more streamlined and focusing on ways to break the parity that she's kind of giving to your opponent. You're giving your opponent cards. It does buff you up and you do draw cards later, but ultimately there are a lot of cards in the deck that make your opponents draw. So I included things like Windfall to be able to, if you've buffed up your opponent's hands a lot, you can benefit from that. As well, I've included the combo of Narset Parter of Veils, because if you're giving your opponents cards, what if you didn't? And then also things like Basking Broodscale and Hardened Scales, just to really benefit off of the +1/+1 counters that you're doing, either ramp or getting more of them.
And I'm Jim. I'm last in turn order, which I love. I mean, you know that about me. That's something that not a lot of people know about me. But today I am playing Hazel of the Root Bloom. This is a Golgari tokens deck. It is based on making copies of tokens, especially if they are squirrels.
The main consideration that I had for Hazel is just focusing more on the token strategy. So I cut a couple of things that make either less impactful tokens or just sort of benefited very loosely off of tokens. Some of the weaker Blood Artist style effects, I took those out because we didn't have things such as Blood Artist. I also wanted to include things that make very good tokens or make a lot of them, things like Tendershoot Dryad and Pawn of Ulamog. I also included Essica's Chariot, because if you're making tokens of things, why not have a carriage that does it for you?
Well, thanks so much for the upgrades, Bill. Let's crack into our Squire Pluses. I'm going to draw a card. We'll play this Tranquil Thicket tapped and pass the turn.
I will draw a card. I'm just going to play this island to start, and I'll pass it to Jan.
All right. Well, I'm going to draw this card. I'm going to start with a Plains. And then I would like to play a Soul Ring.
What?
And then I would like to play a Mind Stone.
Oh
What?
my
And
god.
then I would like to pass the turn.
The group hug deck.
I'll draw a card.
Coming to hug you.
Well, on the bright side, that's just a bunch of colorless mana, so.
That's
It
true.
is. Nobody's ever done anything with that.
No.
Yeah.
I'll play a swamp and pass.
We're going to play this Copperline Gorge as our land for turn, and then tap 2 for Explore. I may pay an additional land this turn and draw a card.
How many are in your deck? 1 or 2?
Exactly 7. Then we will play this Forest as our second land for turn and pass.
I wish I was ramping.
Yeah, me too.
Draw a card. I'll play this Mountain, and then I'm going to play this Polywog Prodigy. This is a 1/3 with Evolve, and whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell with mana value less than this creature's power, I draw a card. So if you cast any 0-drops, watch out.
All right, let's untap. Draw this card. I'll play this Thriving Isle. So it enters tapped. As it enters, I will choose a color other than blue. I think I'll choose green. And then I will spend 3 and a white to play Mangara the Diplomat. Just here to talk.
Okay.
Nobody worry about it. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'll draw a card. I'm going to play a Viridescent Bog. Tap 2 and cast this Blardist. Paul Blardist, Paul Cardist. Pass the turn.
What's a cardist?
I regret that I was drinking my drink because it's exactly what I was going to start saying too. Damn it.
Amazing. We'll play a Reliquary Tower as our land for turn. We're going to tap 1/2 for Gruul Signet. Off of Gruul Signet, we'll cast Grum Gully the Generous.
I have an effect.
Oh, you do.
I would like to draw a card.
Please do.
It's fine, I did it.
Be careful next time. Pass the turn.
All right, I'll
What does
untap.
Grumgully do again? It just adds counters.
Non-human creatures enter with 1/1.
Yes. I will draw a card.
There's no humans in this set.
I'm going to play this Plains as my land for the turn, and then tapping 3, I'm going to play Zinnia, Valley's Voice. So because Zinnia's power is actually buffed by the Polywog Prodigy, it comes in as a 2/3, which means that Evolve triggers, and he gets a little bit bigger.
And then, it's base power, not actual power.
Yeah,
I
it's just
see.
base power. And then yes, I will. I'm just going to pass the turn. Just going to sit back.
Sounds good. I won't draw a card,
Good.
but I'll untap and then I'll draw a card.
Damn.
Sucker. I will play this Brushland for turn. Then, taking a pain off my Brushland, tapping colorless, I will cast Miss Bumbleflower. Miss Bumbleflower, Vigilance for 1/5. Whenever I cast a spell, target opponent draws a card. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains flying till end of turn. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, I draw 2 cards. And with that, I believe I will pass.
Okay. I'll untap. Draw a card. I'm going to play this Jungle Hollow tapped. I will gain a life going to 41. And I'm going to pass the turn.
Sounds good. We're going to untap everything here, draw a card. We'll pay 1/2 for Secure Tribe Elder, which will enter with a 1/1 counter.
Steve.
1, 2, 3 for Bello, Bard of the Brambles, which will enter
Trigger Mangara.
with a 1/1 counter.
Draw a card.
Pass.
I will untap. Draw a card. I will pay 2 to play this Ornithopter of Paradise. Unfortunately, it does not buff Zinnia because it's 0 and not 1. But I'm also missing my line drop. I will pass to you.
I will untap. Draw this card. Play a Temple of Enlightenment. Scry. I will leave it on top. Why not? Okay, I will take another pain for my Brushland for a white. I'll play another white. Then I will pay 2. So 4. And we'll go 5. Steel Burr Champion, and I will pay the Offspring cost. So I will make a copy of it, but trigger Miss Bumbleflower. Jim, you may draw a card.
Would love to, thank you.
And I will also put a counter on... Oh, no, I'll put a counter on my Mangara.
I think it puts it on this.
You can
No,
put
it's
it in.
on target creature. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it on Mangara. I thought I was being way too generous. I'm like, this is too generous, but I'll put a counter there. And then I get a copy of Steel Burr Champion. There's my Steel Burr Champion, and that's funny because they're facing different directions. It's cool. So whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, I put a 1/1 counter on this creature. My Mangara is flying.
It does.
Actually, I'll just sit back.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'll untap. Draw a card. I'm going to play this Swarm Yard. And I think I'm going to cast my commander, Hazel of the Rot Bloom.
In response,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to sacrifice Steve.
Trigger Blood Artist.
Yep.
I'll target you. 39.
Off a secure tribe elder, I'll put this mountain into play tapped.
Okay. Hazel resolves.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm just going to pass the turn.
Sounds good. We're going to untap, upkeep, and draw. We're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For you know him, you love him, it's Primeval Bounty, the guy.
Oh.
That's right. This beauty of a 4/4 trampler with haste, indestructible with haste, comes in with an extra 1/1 counter
I have a trigger.
on account of being,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
on account of being not a human.
That's true. It's an elemental.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 2.
2/1. I get a 1/1 counter each time opponent casts a non-creature spell.
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, you made an enemy for life, so I'm going to attack you for 5.
You know what? That's fair. I'll go to 37.
Sounds good. Pass the turn.
Alex, at the end of your turn, I have an effect.
Please do.
I would like to tap this island for 1. I would like to rapid hybridization this Mangara.
Leave my... Oh, it's actually fine.
Yeah. I just don't want it. You're getting too many cards. And
I've drawn like 1 card off of this.
You're getting too many cards.
So what's that, like a frog?
3/3.
Yes,
3/3.
you get a frog lizard.
Frog lizard.
There you go.
That's too many things.
That also triggers both of your...
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so you're welcome, actually. And draw. I'm going to play this Ferris Lake as my land for the turn. And then I would like to cast a card that I foretold, not through the mechanics of the game, but during pregame actions when I was talking about the deck. I'd like to cast Panharmonicon.
Oh.
Trigger.
Yep, that's fine.
Is it a personal Panharmonicon? Or does it like
Every
work for...
Panharmonicon is a personal
Yeah,
Panharmonicon.
I used to get those. I used to get those at Pizza Hut all the time.
If you
I
try
also used
really
to read
hard
it.
and believe in yourself. That will result in a pass from me.
So let's start. I'll take a pain to add a green. I'm going to cast a Tamio, Field Researcher.
Ooh, very nice.
Enter with 4 loyalty counters. And then I will +1 her. So choose up to 2 target creatures until my next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage to a combat damage, draw a card. I'm going to choose both of your commanders.
So Bello and Hazel.
Yeah, Hazel. So I've cast a card. Jim, you can draw a card.
Sure. Thank you.
Then I will tap to add a green, and I would like to gift Jim a card and cast Wear Down.
So I draw a card for that.
You draw a card,
Okay.
and because I gifted it, I will destroy target artifact or enchantment. But since I gifted, I will destroy 2 target artifacts and enchantments.
Draw a card.
So I would like to choose Panharmonicon and Primeval Bounty. Trigger Miss Bumbleflower. So I will let you draw another card, Jim. I will get another counter, and since it's the second time this has happened, I will draw 2 cards. And then I will pass.
Okay. I'll untap, draw a card, play a swamp as my land for turn. I'm going to tap 5 and cast Tender Shoot Dryad. It's one of the ads.
That's a good one.
Such a good one.
It's one of the drier ads, actually.
Well, it's been fun playing with y'all. I'm going to go home.
Dry rats.
Oh my gosh. Anything else there?
No, I think I'm going to pass the turn. Beginning of my end step, this triggers. I don't have any tokens.
Yeah.
I'm going to discard hand size. Asika's Chariot and Binding of the Old Gods.
One of those was an ad.
The chariot.
You know, I gotta say, Jessica's Chariot is pretty cool.
My good friend Jessica.
All right, I'll draw a card.
Her name's
In your upkeep. Sorry, make a sapperling.
You missed it. I drew a card.
Yeah,
I paused. You heard it.
I heard him rush through your... rush through the trigger.
Cinderglade as land return. Untap because of 2 basics. We're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For War Storm Surge. Trigger.
Ooh, Warstorm Surge is good for us.
Yes, indeed.
Temporarily.
Grumgully resolves first. War Storm Surge resolves second. Ping one of the mice for 5.
Yes.
Can you describe to me what just happened?
Absolutely, I can. This 4/4 elemental entered the battlefield. Grumgully put a 1/1 counter on it. When the 1/1 counter on it, then we looked at Warstorm Surge's ability that says whenever a creature you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to any target.
Sees itself enter?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ping for 5.
It's very powerful.
And we'll do it again.
Excellent. I'm going to untap, upkeep, drop. That is not a land, unfortunately, so I can't do the thing that I wanted to do, but I can do something different. I'm going to pay 3, including an extra 2 for Offspring. I'm going to play Hanged Executioner paying for the offspring. So this is going to enter. It's going to make a copy of itself. Then each of those are going to enter. I'm going to make a 1/1 white spirit for each.
And that's all I want.
So I have created 4 creatures that have base power 1. Zinnia is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including its base power. So it's a 6/3 with flying. I'm going to move to combat and then pass through combat and pass the turn.
Nice.
This musical's got a lot of the same notes.
I'll play a Reliquary Tower.
Oh, in your upkeep.
Yeah. I'm way past my upkeep, Jim.
Too bad.
Well, that's fair.
I have ascended.
You have ascended. You have the city's blessing.
My saplings now get +2/+2.
That's really bad for us.
I'm going to tap 1, 2, green, take a pain, and blue. I'm going to cast Fisher's Talent.
Oh, I like that
Beginning
one.
of my upkeep, look at the top card of my library. I'm going to reveal it. If it's a land card, make a 1/1 blue fish creature token if I revealed it this way. Then draw a card. And then I can level it up and stuff. Trigger Miss Bumbleflower.
If you really want to stick it to Alex, give me the cards and then I'll attack him.
I have 4 cards in hand. Oh my god. You asked me a question and then didn't even wait.
I know.
I'm so smart.
Actually, I'll put the counter here and get it flying. Then I will tick up my Tameo, and I will choose your commander and Steel Burr Champion.
What's that do?
Until my next turn, whenever either of these creatures deal combat damage, I draw a card.
Okay.
Then I will move to combat. Do you have any flyers, Alex?
No.
I will attack you for 6 in the air.
Sounds good.
And then deals combat damage, so I will draw a card. Second main phase, I'll tap this. I will cast Tenuous Truce. So enchant opponent. At the beginning of enchanted opponent's end step, you and that player each draw a card. Whenever you attack enchanted opponent or a planeswalker they control, or when they attack me or a planeswalker control, sacrifice Treasonous Truth.
Okay.
Alex.
Oh.
Okay.
That truce is awfully tenuous.
I would like to enchant you.
I'm enchanting.
Trigger. Draw a card, Jim.
Okay.
I will put another counter here, and it's the second time I've done it, so I'll draw 2 cards. With that, I will confirm that I don't need to discard any cards, and I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to untap. In my upkeep, I will make a Saproling. Then I'll draw a card for my turn. I'll play a Twilight Mire as my land for turn. I'm going to cast Deadly Dispute, sacrificing a Saproling. Trigger. So I will then draw 2 cards and make a treasure. Storm count is 1. Also, when I sacrifice Blood Artist trigger, Bill, I will drain you for 1. Then I'm going to tap 4 to cast Chittering Witch. So this is a human warlock 2/2. When it enters, I create a number of 1/1 black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents I have, which is currently 3. Making 3 rats. Then I'm going to tap Hazel of the Rot Bloom. I will pay 2 life, going down to 36, and I'm going to add X mana in any combination of colors. So I'm going to tap the treasure, my saprolings, and my rats to make 7 mana. I'm going to cast Arasta of the Endless Web. That's a 3/5 reach, and it makes a spider every time any of you cast an instant or sorcery. 3 mana floating. And with my, I'm going to float 1. I'm going to cast Chatterstorm. Yep. So I believe the storm count is at 4?
1, 3, 4, yeah.
This is the 4th spell, right?
It's 4 spell.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make 4 squirrels. And I think I'm just going to let the last mana drain, and I will pass the turn.
Sounds good. We're going to untap, upkeep, and draw.
In your upkeep?
Sounds good. Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Should I boot the game into booter drive?
Please do.
All right.
Indeed.
3 red, 2 other.
Oh no, I know what this is.
Well, then why don't you do announce the spell?
I'm not going to.
Gratuitous Violence. Trigger.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you have a trigger as well.
I have a few triggers. This trigger is Warstorm Surge. I'd like to deal 10 damage to that gigantic mouse.
10 is many damage.
Seems unfair.
It's not invented, that's for sure. And then I'm going to send Warstorm Surge at Jan.
When the creature dies, Blood Artist, I'll drain Bill.
Yes. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you with the middle of my turn there. Speaking of interrupting you with the middle of my turn, I'm going to send Warstorm Surge at Jan. And gratuitous violence at Jim. Tenuous truce dissolves.
They got trample?
They do not. They're just 5/5 indestructible hasties.
Could have given it to me.
I will also block. I'll block with one of my... I missed a trigger on my turn.
Which one was that?
I was supposed to make 2 squirrels.
Yeah, it's a little late for that one.
Okay.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'll block with a squirrel.
Won't forget next time.
Or maybe he will.
Let's not get too
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Untap.
You know that saying, nothing is foolproof to a sufficiently talented fool?
I work in IT, Jim.
Draw. I'm going to tap 5. I'm going to play Murmuration.
Gesundheit.
So this is a 4 and a white enchantment. Birds I control get +1/+1 and have vigilance, which is currently none of them. Actually, sorry. Zinnia now has vigilance, which is nice.
1 birds.
At the beginning of your end step, for each spell you've cast this turn, create a 1/2 blue bird creature token with flying named Stormcrow.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
It's Crowstorm on an enchantment. Okay, I'm going to move to combat. Zinnia has vigilance now because of Murmuration, which is nice. I'm going to attack Jan because he does not cease to be mean to me. So I'm going to be mean back.
Oh. For
So
12?
Currently, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So
14.
No, this
Yeah,
is
gratuitous
just a
violence.
creature you control. Yeah, if it was any creature, I would have jammed something else.
Okay, 29?
Yep,
Yes.
29.
Okay. Then I will move to the end of my turn, and I will create a Stormcrow token.
Call.
I have cast 1.
I no longer feel safe.
In Jan's upkeep, I'm going to make the sapperling that I forgot to make in Bill's
Okay.
upkeep.
Beginning of my upkeep, I'm going to look at this card. You may reveal it if it's a land card. It is not a land card. I will draw it. And then I will draw for turn and keep pushing Bill's deck over.
Thank you.
It's my only way to win.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's cast Jolly Gerbils. So 2, 3. Whenever I give a gift, draw a card.
Okay.
I did cast a spell. I will let Bill draw a card this turn.
For me?
Then I will tick up Tamio, and I will pick Bill's commander and gratuitous violence.
Not a
Oh, it's
creature.
not a creature. Man, cut it out. Bill's commander and Jim's commander.
Okay.
Then I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'm going to untap. I'm going to consolidate some of my sapperlings here. In my upkeep, I will make an additional sapperling, bringing me up to 6. And I'll draw a card for turn. I'm going to play a swamp as my land for turn. Then I'm going to tap 4 and cast Rootcast Apprenticeship. This is a sorcery. It says choose 3, and I can choose the same mode more than once. My options are put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, create a token that's a copy of target token I control, target player creates a 1/1 green squirrel, or target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. I'm going to choose the mode create a green squirrel 3 times.
Okay.
Yep.
Here are my 3 squirrels. These can't attack. Then I'm going to tap Hazel, pay 2 life. I'm going to tap the 3 squirrels that I just made, as well as my treasure to make 4 mana. Go down to 2 green mana floating, cast Genesis Chamber. I will add an additional 1 here with my 2 mana floating. That's 3 total. I will cast Beastmaster Ascension.
Yeah, it's just online.
And if that resolves, I would like to move to combat.
I would like to not have you move to combat personally.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Welcome to combat.
Yeah.
Yes, love it. Okay. I am going to attack Tamio with 3 rats, Bill with 6 sapperlings, and Alex with 3 squirrels. So the sapperlings are 8/8s, the rats are 6/6s, the squirrels are 6/6s.
So Beastmaster online.
Yeah, and you get
Yes.
11 counters on Beastmaster.
11 counters on Beastmaster. It is now online. I'm not going to track it.
Anything past the 7th is not worth tracking.
Yeah.
Alex, you're first to block.
Face.
Okay.
Damn. I'm gonna block 3 of the sapperlings, taking I will take 24 damage, going to 14.
I'd like to tap 6. I'll take a pain off of my brushland to cast Perch Protection. And I do have to gift someone an extra turn.
This guy.
I will gift Alex an extra turn.
Really?
Yeah. I will create 4 2/2 blue bird tokens with flying, and then I've gifted someone, so I'll draw a card. Then I phase out.
And a Rasta will trigger, and I'll make a spider.
Yeah. I will also trigger Miss Bumbleflower and let Bill draw a card. Thank you. Yeah.
Here's my spider. I need some more real estate here.
Yeah. So I have 4 birds, and I am basically Teferi's protectioned.
Okay. When does the extra turn happen? After my turn?
Yep. So it'll go my extra turn, my real turn, Bill's turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do it in a way that's going to confuse anyone.
Yeah.
It's just
Alex just takes 2 turns in a row.
Yep. So my 4 birds, and then I am no longer participating in the game.
Yep. Very
Forever
good.
until my turn.
I'm going to move to my end step, and this time I'm going to remember my Hazel trigger and make 2 squirrels.
Anything else here, Jim?
No, it's the end of my turn.
Okie dokie. Let's see if we can find it out.
2 shots at it.
35.
Folks, if one of you could go forward in the video and let me know if I find it out, I'd appreciate it.
Future me.
I like that.
I'll make a sapperling.
Tap 4. For Path of Discovery. Whenever a creature I control enters, it explores. Trigger, trigger. We're going to explore first. Hiya! Bang goes into my hand. That's okay.
That's okay.
Grumgully.
That's an out.
I'd like to deal 10 damage to target...
Is it any target?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Jim's face? Yeah, Jim's face.
Yeah, I'll take 10.
Don't say I never did anything for you, rest of the table.
You never did anything.
I'm going to say you never did anything for me.
That's super fair. I said rest of the table, not Jim.
Yeah.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for Asika's Chariot.
Ooh.
Oh.
So it will enter as a creature. I've got a few different triggers. First, we're going to explore. Starstorm, we'll put that into the graveyard and then put a counter on Asika's Chariot. Then we'll put a 1/1 counter on Asika's Chariot. Then we'll deal 12 damage to Jim.
Jeez.
What is this, 12?
It explored
So it's 6.
and then doubled from gratuitous violence.
Gratuitous violence is the piece I was missing.
yeah.
I'll go to 13.
13.
Wait, hang on a sec.
Hang on a second.
When does Warstorm Surge check power?
When it resolves.
Where's all?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm going to have 2 green cat creatures enter the battlefield, if I can find some cat creatures to enter the battlefield. Here they are. So that makes me 2 cats, each of which need to explore.
Yes.
So we're going to look at the top card. I'm going to leave a Wild Seer on top, putting a counter on both of them. So I have 2 cats with 1/1 counter on them.
Right.
And then Grumgully will trigger, giving me 2 cats with 2 1/1 counter on them.
Right. Actually, before you get too much further, you've cast 2 non-token creatures, or you've had 2 non-token creatures enter this turn?
Just now, yeah.
So Genesis Chamber, you actually end up with 2 mirrors as well.
Excellent.
Yes.
I'll come to that after the Warstorm Surge triggers.
Okay.
So I'm going to deal 8 to you and then 8 to you.
That is much many.
Yes.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so actually in response to the Warstorm Surge trigger, I am going to sacrifice a creature. That'll be one of my squirrels.
Okay.
To Chittering Witch's ability to give, let's say, I don't think this is going to save me. I will give one of the cat tokens -2/-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that those entered with additional, right? Not a trigger?
Correct.
I can't respond to it. Yeah, so trigger Blood Artist. I will drain you for 1. And then I believe this is dealing 14 damage to me.
Yes.
This is still Xaxes. Okay, yeah, I'm dead.
Okay. Thank you for dead. I will still have my make mirrors triggers.
Yes.
So they will both enter, both with a 1/1 counter from Grumgully and a counter from the Explore trigger, making them 3 3s. I will deal 6 damage to, I'll deal 12 damage to Bill.
Yep.
Did you just do this so that you'd have more dice? Is it like Monopoly rules on houses?
I wasn't going to say it, but yes. And then I will move to declare attacks. Bill, unfortunately, I cannot attack Jan profitably, so I'll attack you with 3/5/5 indestructible gentlemen.
Well, I will block with 3 of my creatures,
Excellent.
my non-commanders.
That seems good. At this point, I'd like to move to my end step and move to my next turn.
Yes.
I'll draw my card for turn, and I'll tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for your favorite card and mine, Bootlegger's Stash.
This has ruined the game of Commander.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still mad about it. We're gonna explore and put Gruul Turf into our hand, so only 1 counter, 10 damage to Bill.
-8.
Yeah. So, Jan, can you describe to me all the conditions that happened as a result of the roost protection thing?
All permanents phase out, and until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything.
And you gain protection from everything. Yes. That's perfectly fine. I am still going to attack you with Essica's Chariot to make another cat token. Explore to see if it comes in with 2 or 1. It comes in with 2. And then I will choose to have...
It's not May, and you can't target me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll have it blow up itself, so it dies. Yeah, have fun.
Do you have any flyers?
No.
Okay. I will phase back in and untap. I'll alt Tamio because I can.
Okay.
So I now have an emblem that... I draw 3 cards and get an emblem with you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs.
Ancestral Recall and Omniscience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'm going to, just because I can, I'm going to Generous Gifts, destroying this and giving you an elephant.
Cool.
And I will let you draw a card. I'll put a 1/1 counter on Miss Bumbleflower. She gains flying. And I'll come in for 7 and 8 in the air.
I think that's enough.
Yay! I did it!
That was a pretty good game.
I hugged so many people.
That perch protection really did come in clutch.
Yes.
Giving Alex only the tools to kill his opponents and nothing else.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
I forgot about the gratuitous violence. I thought things were going to not escalate, but it did so in my favor.
They escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
And terrifyingly. I was, if that didn't happen, or if I had convinced Jan to give me an extra turn, I would have been able to offspring a Sublime Archangel, which then would make at least 1 more 1/1 off of the Genesis Chamber, and my commander would attack for exactly 21.
Oh, that's wild.
With Vigilance.
cool.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I like the name Jolly Gerbils.
Yeah. I think we
Hamster Citizen.
saw a lot of good stuff out of the decks this time around. You were in a commanding position.
Yeah, briefly.
I mean, nothing like 5/5 and 2/2 and all over the rest.
Yeah, like Beastmaster Ascension obviously is a wow.
Yeah.
But Hazel made a lot of mana that
Yeah.
game.
A lot.
I tapped it for 6 that one turn,
Yeah.
and then 3 the turn after. But I would have tapped it for 10 and cast everything in my hand if I didn't have the Beastmaster Ascension out, because it was more profitable to attack.
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, if the Beastmaster Ascension got removed or anything like that, I had like a mitt full of 5 drops.
Yeah.
I had
Wow.
like Endrick, Sar, and a bunch of stuff in my hand. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just roll out a whole bunch of stuff. We'll get as many tokens as possible. I cast that Moto spell and got 3 more squirrels. And my tokens were coming in as 6/6s, so minimum 6/6s.
Yeah.
I did miss a few triggers, which was a little sad, but
You had to.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I really liked the way that Murmuration played out for you.
I was very excited for that one because, like, not only does it give you a bunch of flying blockers and like attackers that ping because they have vigilance, they also have base power 1, so they interact really well with Zinnia. And even if you're just able to cast like 2 or 3 spells, you're getting 2 or 3 Stormcrows.
Yeah.
And in any other year, except for this current one, that would be a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't care about getting Stormcrows.
When you announced it, though, it was too clear and too loud. It was supposed to be.
Something I really appreciated about running Bello was simply that it was very straightforward. I didn't have to think very hard. It was very much a deck where it's like, I have a non-thing that's more than 4. Hello. Hello.
Warstorm Surge
Hello.
may be too good in that.
I'd say
deck.
Warstorm Surge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think Warstorm Surge on its own would have been, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Warstorm Surge with gratuitous violence and playing into it each and every turn.
I mean, you dealt 30 damage to me. On
Yeah, no, that was that was wild.
It was
absolutely over the top.
like Grumgully just adding basically 2 damage, and then also exploring, potentially also adding 2 damage to every single thing that you played, including like tokens, like getting the 2 tokens off of Essica's Chariot that just dealt on its own. It dealt 8 from or maybe 10 or 12 from the Essica's Chariot, and then an additional 8 per token.
Yeah.
Like, it just dealt 25 damage or
Turns
something.
out multiplication's pretty great.
Yeah.
What I maybe should have done was left up Hazel, and if somebody tried to pull something like that and deal 30 damage to me or whatever, then I could have pumped in like a bunch of mana into it, and then into Chittering Witch, sack a bunch of tokens, drained with Blood Artist, and then also reduced the size of the Warstorm Surge triggers. but I didn't think about it at the time. I thought about it after when I was dead.
Yeah.
It was Esprit d'Escalier.
Well, I mean, like that. Yeah, I mean, like attacking with enough creatures to turn on the Beastmaster's Engine when it comes out is still like a really
I really like that Fisher's.
It's neat. It didn't give me any fish, but it is a neat sort of like because it grows. It makes you octopuses at level 3 and stuff. But I think I don't know. So like looking at this, you get a lot of cards. Like I think of like Orzhov Advocate. That's like, hey, put counters on your thing, but you can't attack me. This is a lot of like, we're playing on the honor system. I'll give you a card. Don't kill me with it, kind of thing. So you're like, well, But also, you get to a point. What I was doing with Jim is why Jim kept getting cards. And I'm sorry, Jim, is you had a full grip, and more cards I give you means like if you're not playing, you're gonna have to start discarding stuff.
I was into it though because this makes so much mana. Right?
At one point, it was just
so many 5-drops. I'm just like, I'll take these.
Well, if you want to take something nice home, all you have to do is go over to your local game store and ask for Gamegenic products. They have them there, and if they don't, ask for them nicely. Keyword nicely. One thing I'm going to ask you nicely to do is check out the link towards all these Bloomburrow products. They'll either help you find your local game store or another place that can help you get these products in your hands. We also just want to say thanks so much to Burrito Splendido for feeding us today. I was a hungry man, and now I'm not.
Oh, they were so good.
They were so good.
Check out their green salsa. If you're in Winnipeg, check out the green salsa.
They gave us an entire takeout container of guacamole.
Yeah,
that's expensive. Avocados are expensive.
It's so good. Check them out.
Super good. Any case, folks, we just want to say thanks once again. If you haven't liked, commented, and subscribed, I'm just in the depths of depression about it, so that's okay. I'll just have to live with it. One people that don't make me depressed are all of our patrons. They're down below. They're on the sides, and they're scrolling on by because they're the folks that help keep the lights on around here. We just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of our patrons. If you would like to join their illustrious ranks, you can do so for as little as $1 down below at patreon.com/thespikefeeders. Now that we've all done all of our hand wavy things, I'm going to wave at you one more time to have a great day.